8 weeks later, I was scheduled for my first ceremony, and it completely not only answered every prayer, but overnight, everything that I was dealing with was no longer there. I was shown the truth of what was affecting me, released it immediately, and then from there started my journey of, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I was shown that I am supposed to be working with this medicine and bringing this to the awareness, because if it can happen for me, it can happen for everyone.
So you didn't just do the procedure, you then pursued being able to do the procedure.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that happens a lot in the naturopathic world too. Like when you go to naturopathic medical school, one of the first things you do is you get your group together and you say, why are you pursuing this? My background was in pharmacy, and the more drugs I saw people on, the worse they looked. And so I was like almost having a crisis of conscience and said, I need to do something different. I don't want to be a pill pusher my whole life. And I accidentally found naturopathic medicine, and it was like a calling to me. So totally understand.
So you and I, we all know what we're talking about here, but I don't think we actually mentioned the procedure that occurred, that you went through.
Yeah, so Kambo is an amphibian medicine. It's actually, so Kambo itself lives in places like Colombia, Peru, and Brazil. And this special frog produces a secretion, and the secretion is filled with peptides. And actually, to apply these peptides, we have to burn our skin just to remove the top two layers. And when the peptides are placed on our skin, the healing benefits that start to happen within our body and our being are miraculous. And so it can heal things like mental blocks, addictions, parasites. It's antimicrobial, antifungal. It kills all forms of bacteria, even bacteria resistant to antibiotics. Anything out of alignment in the body and the system, hormonally, mentally, emotionally, it actually brings it back into balance. And so we have the ability to release and purge emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically, to come back into full alignment in grounded peace, grounded love, without having to deal with the anxiety, the fear, the depression.
Would you consider it similar to like a standard detox type treatment that someone would go to a naturopathic doctor for, at least in a feeling?
I think they go hand in hand and can work together. I do think that Kambo is a standalone medicine when it comes to just what people go through, because it's a little bit uncomfortable, and so it takes a lot of surrender and trust for someone to show up in the Kambo space. But I definitely think it goes hand in hand, especially with your guys' office and what you're doing and your ethics and morals. It's all in oneness with love, for sure.
So we might have just lost a few people, but let me sum this up. So you burn the skin, the top of the skin, and then you put frog peptides on it.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes. And so the process for Kambo is you come in, I open the gates, and it actually really doesn't hurt that bad. It's quick. It's like a 1, 2, 3.
It's like a rubber band snap.
Perfect. Yes.
That's how when I did it, I've done it twice now, and it's why we brought you in too, because I've absolutely loved how I feel since I've done it. And I mean, 100% love it. And I said, that's my experience when it came to what does the burning feel like? It feels like a rubber band snap. It's quick and easy, no real pain afterward at all. If anything, I looked at it as yeah, this is my battle scar.
Absolutely. A Kambo warrior.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, so when you open the gates, it's a quick 1, 2, 3. I have you drink 3/4 liters of water. And then while you're drinking the water, I actually activate the Kambo. It's dried. The secretion is actually dried on a stick, Kambo stick. And then I go ahead and place the dots, the medicine, on the gates. The first test point that I place on you is just to gauge your tolerance to the medicine. And so we observe you for 5 minutes, just really to make sure that you're good. And then I'll go ahead and place the rest of the medicine on. The whole process takes about 20 minutes. So you're only with the medicine for 20 minutes, but because of the nature of these peptides, the minute the medicine goes on your skin, it triggers the body into healing. And so you'll feel a rush of flu-like symptoms, but it's just because you're healing.
And Dr. Katz has been bragging about his sleep number since he got the Kambo treatment. If you have a sleep number bed and you keep track of this and you just can't get your sleep numbers up, you might want to consider Kambo. But thanks for tuning into Your Health is Wealth. We're the doctors from Naturopathic Physicians Group located in Scottsdale, Arizona. After this quick break, We will continue our interview with Shaman Sterling Zayas and continue discussing these amazing treatments she offers.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow,
Zayas,
it's that
that's okay.
serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale,
quick.
our
That was
doctors
11
are
minutes?
experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
How would you like to make money from a bank instead of the bank making money from you?
Thank you.
How can you do this? This is Ference, host of the Your Personal Bank Show. We have banks that fund ongoing annual premiums into your high cash value policy that is principal guaranteed. Why would they do this?
I think
Cash
the
is an asset and can be
misconceptions
used
are
as
important
collateral.
because
When you earn more in dividends from your
people Google
policy
it,
than the interest
they
the bank
panic.
charges, you
So I
keep the
feel like-
I had
difference.
a nightmare
The
that
difference has
Yeah.
averaged 2 to 5% annually in your favor for the past 40 plus years.
Is there
When the
anything
funds
that
are
you want me to
contributed
touch
from
on
a
that
bank,
I-
you leverage other people's
want
money
you
and
to-
multiply your returns.
'cause
Your
I
average
believe,
rate of return can grow to strong double digits annually within a few years. This can be done income tax-free with guarantees and no downside market risk. Contact me at yourpersonalbank.com or 866-268-4422, 866-268-4422 for more information. Or tune in to the Your Personal Bank Show Tuesdays at noon.
So far.
Welcome back to Your Health is Wealth. I'm Dr. Lorena Ryder. We are here today every Friday with Dr. Katz at 1 p.m. We discuss a different topic about natural remedies for your health every week. We are currently interviewing Shaman Sterling Zayas and discussing the healing benefits of her medicine.
Yeah, I mean, last segment we were talking about kind of the combo ceremony, and you were explaining the process in how it works and how it affects you in the body and the benefits. But I assume since you're using monkey frog peptides, that there's probably some weird information online or misconceptions. So kind of explain that to us.
Yes. So, when people are either referred to combo or hear about it, the first thing they do is Google it and read, frog poison and you can die from it, and we're human. So obviously we read that and get a little overwhelmed. But the truth is combo is actually a very safe and sacred medicine. And when the peptides go on the skin, you feel that influx of flu-like symptoms and immediately getting in alignment of I'm healing, I'm not sick. And you actually can't die from combo. You can die from hyponatremia, which is a low sodium intake in the blood, which happens when you drink too much water. And so people don't actually die from combo, you die from hyponatremia. And that is why there's safety protocols put in place. I am a trained combo facilitator. And so measuring out 3/4 of a liter of water. So that way when people come, they're drinking the exact amount of water. Their body is not in a state of digestion with food. And so going through an extensive consultation, making sure people don't have contraindications to combo, and everything is very, very safe when done the right way.
Yeah, I remember reading the list. I was like, it's a decent amount of things you got to follow beforehand, but it's not difficult. And I'm guilty as charged. I did read about it before. I mean, I listened to when you explained it to me, but again, the unknown is always going to kind of drive you. And I felt for this, the same thing we always tell people not to do is don't go on WebMD and read everything because there's so much bad information out there. But I mean, I had a nightmare the night before. I mean, I was nervous, and I'm not a nervous type person, but I was definitely nervous before. But after the feeling and the benefits I got from the first time, the second time, before I did my second session, I slept like a baby the night before. And I had truly was very peaceful beforehand. I was actually very excited to go and do my second session. So as long as, I mean, just like anything, if it's done right,
Yes.
I mean, it's gonna, there's the side effects are gonna be, pretty much non-existent or minimal for sure.
So just to kind of recap, like what this looks like in a session. So you have pre-instructions before you go in, things that you have to follow. And then when you get there, you sit down in a chair, you prep the skin, you do what you have to do on the skin as far as burn peptides. And then you spend about 20 minutes feeling like you have the flu.
Yes.
And you have to like mentally be strong and get through that.
Yes.
Now, do you have people like actually throw up? Do you like what's like what can you expect beyond that until the end of your session when you get up and leave?
Yeah. So when the body is triggered into healing, you'll feel heat in the body. You might feel tingling in your fingers, in your head, pressure in your head, elevated heart rate. But it's the same heart rate where if you were to get up, walk to the parking lot and come back, it's that form of heart rate, but you're just feeling it from a meditative state. Nausea, you can purge, you can feel a little shaky, a little dizzy. All of that is normal. But what's happening is the body is going into what needs to be released, right? Is there energy stored in the body? Is there a childhood trauma that's stuck in the tissues of the body? There is a physical purge. You can purge north and you can purge south, but it also gets rid of parasites and fungus and yeast and candida and hormonal imbalances and kills cancer cells and rebalances and breaks addictive patterns and behaviors or looping cycles that, maybe we're having a hard time, like, hey, I want to do this in my life, but I keep going back to this pattern, right? It'll actually help realign to break those patterns so that way we can live free of that. There's another component to Kambo where it's a spiritual healing, so I actually support people to work through those emotions to release strongholds so that way they can actually have more love, more joy, more peace in their life. There's no way around, you got to get through it. And so, my job is you're going to heal yourself. And I'm here as a support to guide you so that you're okay and that it's a very safe space for you to welcome whatever needs to be released. So that way, you're not alone in the process.
Yeah, for me, it was emotional for sure. Because when you're kind of in that state of that flu-like feeling, you've got things racing through your mind. And I mean, it brought up one of my past dogs that passed away, and I started almost blaming myself. Did I do enough to help my dog? It brought up my best friend that I hadn't talked to in years, who I've since reconnected with and seen multiple times, and I'm back talking with him, regularly. And I have a sense of peace, and I felt like that was a void in my life, not having that person, but I also didn't allow myself to have that person back in my life. And after the Kambo, I've since reconnected, and I mean, it almost feels like we never stopped hanging out. And so, I mean, it was emotional, but it was a good emotion. And you did an amazingly good job of guiding it, though. Like, I always felt like if something didn't feel right to me, you were right there telling me this is normal, this is okay, let it happen, you're safe. You did a really good job of that. And it was just, again, you would never think I would say I look forward to, feeling that flu feeling and not feeling good. But I think my next one's, a week away, and I'm super excited for it. So it was just an amazing journey for me. And like Lori was saying earlier about my sleep number bed, my score continues to keep going up. And I've actually had 4 times more what I would call perfect night's sleep in the last 3 months than I had in the first 12 months of having that bed. Wow. And I can't explain any other reason for that. So again, thank you for better sleep.
How many Kambo treatments do you estimate you have done thus far?
Oh my gosh, so many.
Like hundreds, thousands, what do you think?
Let me see. Well, the first few years, it was me focusing on myself, and I've done a lot on myself. And then my family, and then now within the last year, I've been really serving clients and families. I don't even know what number to put on it. I just feel very, very lucky that, so many people have trusted this process and come through. And a lot of my business has been referral, just from people seeing, wow, you're different, you're calmer, wow, you have less pain, wow, and just those types of referrals where people are going, let me try.
And how many sessions is normal for, to feel benefits. I felt it after one.
Mhm.
Is that typical?
Yes. So one session, you'll feel just unbelievably amazing. And then after that, I typically do 3 as close together. So that could be 3 in 3 days, 3 in 3 weeks, whatever, I customize it for each person. And then after that, maintenance every 6 weeks is perfectly okay. And then you just keep doing it until you feel like you're complete, or if there's things that you need to work on. And part of this too is bringing your intentions. What are you going through in your life? What do you need more of? Do you need more time? Do you need more love? Do you need more peace? So kind of bringing, it's not only just release, it's also really bringing everything into oneness and just allowing yourself permission to feel, to heal, and to just expand, in awareness. It's a beautiful process.
And I know with when you're saying some people do it like 3 in a week or even faster, but not always practical. I know I didn't do that many in a week. I kind of did a month, and then I did kind of like 6 weeks after that. And yet I still feel the benefits. So I'm assuming that's not atypical either, that you'll just continue to heal whether you have to space it out or not, because people's schedules are all variety.
Yeah, and I think it depends too what happens in the consult. I've had people that have come through with tumors, and so obviously I'm going to get them closer together. So depending on what health issues you're coming in with and what you're dealing with, I might say, let's get these done as quickly as possible, or let's spread it out. We can really take it as fast or as slow as each individual person wants to. It's their journey.
So what other treatments do you do?
So I work in the energy space. So I do Reiki, which is a beautiful modality that I combine with combo. So if people don't feel comfortable with the medicine yet, you can kind of tap into energy work without medicine. I also specialize in breath work, so connecting to the breath to help move static energy in the body. So I really combine a bunch of different modalities and bring them all together, so that way through a session, you're fully supported in every single way that you need, whether it be in the energy space, with emotions that you're dealing with the physical body. And it's just brought a lot of confidence into what I do, just to be able to handle each piece of what's needed when somebody's going through something in a combo session.
That's cool. I'm still considering it. I did the Google thing.
I think you need to do it.
Yeah, I was like, hey, it says I could die. My kids would be really mad at me if I died.
We need to have an office session.
But now you're saying that's rubbish.
It's combo is very, very safe. And I promise you, if you come and you experience it for yourself, all of that will go away and change, because you'll notice that this medicine is actually a sacred medicine. And it really brings everything back to divine healing in love and trust and surrender. And so, what I tell people is just come, trust, surrender, and allow the medicine to work with you and show you the gift of what it truly is.
Is there a culture that does this on a regular basis? The sacred healing, where does that originate?
Yeah, so it's very popular in the indigenous communities. And so shamanism is the oldest spiritual practice. I refer to myself as a heavenly priestess. So, it blends in with shamanism very, very well, just to navigate the seen and unseen realms to support clients in healing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. And again, thank you for the benefits it's brought me. I've absolutely loved my process of going through it. So for all our listeners out there, what's the best way to reach you so they can get some healing?
Absolutely. So my website is www.theheavenlypriestess.com. You can shoot me an email at sterlingzayas@gmail.com. And my Instagram handle is @heavenlypriestess. So you can contact me any one of those ways.
Awesome. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been awesome working with you. You did awesome today. And we'll be back in a few minutes for segment 3, I think. The second half.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Things may seem wrong, but soon it'll be all right now.
Isn't that amazing?
JD Hayworth here. Join me weekday afternoons 3 to 5 on Money Radio.
So what I'm going to have James do is I'm
Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Rite Aid is reassuring creditors that it will survive Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The pharmacy chain's legal team says it's still working on a rescue deal with banks and a major bondholder group, and the process is taking longer than expected. Boeing's first astronaut flight is now scheduled for the beginning of June after struggling with a small helium leak on the space capsule. Officials for Boeing and NASA say intensive reviews found that the Starliner capsule can safely fly with 2 test pilots. Lucid Group says it will cut about 400 jobs as part of its restructuring plan. The California-based electric vehicle maker lost more money than expected in the recent quarter due to the decreasing demand for EVs. The Dow finishing the day up 4 points, the S&P 500 up 37 points, and NASDAQ up 185 points. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Laura Cantor, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at American Humane.
I'm Jim Chesko with Your Money Now. Stocks closed out the week on a positive note, led by technology issues. The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite leaped 184 points, or 1.1%, to close above 16,900, a fresh closing high. The S&P 500 rose 36 points, and the Dow Industrials eked out a 4-point gain. Shares of The Children's Place rallied 15% after the company's new chair outlined a slate of changes to be made to the retailer's business, including automating more distribution and scrapping earnings calls and guidance. The board plans to enact a minimum order size for free shipping meant to prevent losses or slim margins on low-value orders, plus expand an automated distribution center, a push to increase efficiency and save costs. Not taking part in today's advance, Intuit shares tumbled 8 1/3% after the TurboTax maker yesterday issued a forecast for the current quarter that disappointed. Again, a record high for the NASDAQ today. That's Your Money Now.
This ad furnished by Nesbitt Title LLC, offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Okay. Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to 27cash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news. I went to 27cash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27.
If you can get a signal on your smartphone, then you can listen live to Money Radio. Download our app for free and never miss a moment of the great advice.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Exactly. You don't need. How would you like to safely leverage bank money to earn double-digit returns, income tax-free, with guarantees and no downside market risk? How can you do this? This is Ference, host of the Your Personal Bank Show. 1. You fund a high cash value policy one time to earn dividends and interest. 2. Establish a bank line of credit using the cash in your policy as collateral. When you earn more in dividends from your policy than the interest the bank charges, you keep the difference. And the difference is averaged 2 to 5% annually in your favor for the past 40 plus years. 3. The bank funds contributions years 2 to 20 plus. Each year the bank adds funds, your rate of return increases. Your average rate of return can grow to strong double digits annually within a few years. Contact me at yourpersonalbank.com, yourpersonalbank.com, or 866-268-4422, 866-268-4422 for more info, or tune in to the Your Personal Bank show Tuesdays at noon.
Let's hear what that guys.
Hi, and welcome back to Your Health is Wealth here on Money Radio 1510 AM, 105.3 FM. This is our weekly show on how to take charge of your health and help get your life back. In our first half of the show, we interviewed Shaman Sterling Zayas and discussed her healing treatments. And now we have the pleasure of interviewing Carmen Moretti, who is a medical hypnotherapist and has been doing this for over 2 decades.
Close.
Not
quite 2
Not
decades.
quite?
Not quite.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Well, hypnotherapy has been around a long time too. So start off, I guess, who are you and what do you do?
Well, I'm a medical support hypnotherapist. And so it's not done just by myself. We're going to be utilizing the client's their medical treatment. So whatever it is that they're going to be doing with their doctor, with their physician, then I'm going to help that to be more effective. And we're going to address the underlying emotional and mental blocks that might be in the way, and as well as their beliefs. So if you've got a belief that you can't heal, then you're going to have an uphill battle to healing, right? To that journey to health. And so I deal directly with the mental aspect and the emotional aspect, the parts that you guys probably don't have as much of an opportunity to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing hypnotherapy with you for many years now. I absolutely love it. I just been really impressed by how it's helped me mentally, emotionally, both as a husband, both as a father and as a doctor, and it's really done wonders for me. So tell me, like, why did you pursue it?
I fell into it. I was one of the many people that thought that it was, a joke. I thought that it was something that somebody's going to control me, make me bark like a dog, or quack like a duck, and I wanted no part of that. I went back to school in 2008 to 2010, specializing in hypnotherapy, but I didn't start there. I started out with nutrition and Western herbalism, but they make you take Hypnotherapy 1. So I took Hypnotherapy 1 and I was like, oh my God, this is not what I thought it was. And I was hooked. So I really quickly changed my study of my focus. And I switched over to the mind-body psychology degree with specializing in hypnotherapy and coaching. And yeah, it was a surprise to me. It was the last thing that I thought I'd be doing for sure. But it is nothing like what you think it is. If you think it's those myths, it's nothing like that.
Well, I know when you asked me about, do I want to try a session? Have I ever done it before? The first thing I remember asking you was, am I going to bark like a dog? Because growing up, that's what you hear hypnosis is.
Absolutely.
So there has to be a lot. What other type of misconceptions are out there about hypnotherapy?
Well, it's that you're going to tell all of your secrets like it's a truth serum. So they're all to do with control. You're afraid that you're going to lose control in some way. You're going to say something you're not supposed to or don't want to. You're going to not know what's happening. You're just going to wake up and you'll have a blank spot. That never happens either, right?
I'm pretty open book anyway. I'm pretty truthful anyway. But I don't ever feel like I was not in control.
No. Because what it does, it actually teaches you to be more in control. It's going to give you more control because it's dealing with your emotions, your thoughts, and your beliefs. Your subconscious mind is what we're dealing with specifically. Well, both. I teach about subconscious and conscious. And we want to get the subconscious and the conscious to work together so that they're on the same team, because sometimes we're at odds with ourselves, right? That's because you're not congruent subconsciously and consciously. If you've got some subconscious belief that is not in alignment with where you want to go, with what your goals are, or what kind of life you want to experience, then you're going to have a clashing within yourself. You're going to have all kinds of things happening. So that's what we're really working on, is getting those two things in alignment. A lot of education with my clients to let them understand about their technology. That's what I call our minds. conscious and subconscious, that's our technology. We need to know how to work it, how to use it, right?
Yeah. No, when I hear hypnotherapy, my mind goes back to on television, the people on stage, they line them up on chairs, they're jumping around on one foot, and then they're embarrassed.
Yeah.
Everybody's laughing at you.
Yeah.
So if you're saying I can actually guide my life better by making connections within the conscious and subconscious, I mean, that's a win-win in my mind.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, when I've done, and every time I do it, I feel like I'm having even a better session each time. I feel like, I know you told me that you don't like to say going under. You prefer the term what?
Going in.
Going in.
Mm-hmm.
I like that better too, but you know, we say what we say.
Well, let me tell you why. Because if you say going under, you're under anesthesia or you're under the hypnotist's control. Do we want to be under somebody else's control, or do we want to be in control of ourselves? So it really literally is not under. You're just in a different state. It's just a different brainwave pattern, and you have more control over yourself. You are deeply relaxed and very focused, so you can have selective thinking going on.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm thinking more clearly, because when we're out and about and we're in situations, we have 8 other things on our mind that we're thinking about and not just the task in front of us. And I feel like with hypnosis, those 8 other things kind of just disappear, and then I'm only focused on what our task at hand is. So I feel like it's not like me even having a conversation with you, the hypnotherapist. I'm having a conversation with myself,
yes,
and digging deeper into why I think the way I do, why I act the way I do, and if that is problematic, how do I fix that?
Yes.
Exactly. And I also feel like, you know, we always like to blame others for our problems. Oh, it's spouse's fault, even though it's never my wife's fault. Trust me.
No,
it's always mine. No. Or it's our kid's fault, or it's my job, it's my boss, it's any of these things. And then you realize it's really more the way you think about it and how you respond. And when you realize and you look at yourself better and you clear that out, you tolerate those other things much better. You handle them better.
Yeah. You do handle them better. It ends up making your life so much easier to maneuver. And, you know, hypnotherapy teaches you to take responsibility. So it's very empowering. You're not going to be blaming people anymore when you start practicing hypnotherapy, because you're taking the reins in your life. You're learning how to use your technology. You're learning what's been stopping you and what you need to do to get what you want. And that's on all levels, like healing for chronic health problems.
Yeah. So could you kind of take us through maybe just a quick example of how one gets into this state? Because for the people like me who think about jumping on one foot, we're also thinking that something is dangling in front of you and your eyes start to turn into the circly thing, you know? But how do you get into that state where you go in?
Right. So it's called an induction. And an induction is there's many different ways to do it. What I do myself is one that I resonate with because of my own personality, but I'm trained in a lot of different ones. So what it is progressive relaxation, but I've combined a lot of different things. And it's just slowing your breathing down, closing your eyes, going in and listening to a sing-songy voice that just guides you and lulls you into this beautiful, relaxed state. And it's imagery as well. So we're going to use imagery, and we do that because we want to speak to the subconscious mind, which speaks in pictures. So it understands what we're saying when we have a picture in our mind. And so it's just gradually, slowly relaxing them into this beautiful state where they are deeply relaxed and highly focused. And it's something that you need to experience more than intellectualize, because it's a highly experiential therapy.
And then you guide the conversation that ensues, or is there like a planned topic going in?
There's a planned topic, but it's a technique. So we start out with suggestion therapy, which is suggestions are positively worded statements that inspire action. And then we flood the client's mind with these suggestions, essentially helping them to reprogram the limiting beliefs, getting rid of those things that we don't want anymore, that are not serving us, and then also creating imagery to speak directly to the thing that's running our bodies and our whole life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what are the types, or, we'll do that in the next segment.
Different types of hypnotherapy. There isn't just one.
There's not just one.
That's awesome. Yeah. So if you feel like you're just not getting to the bottom of your health issues with your current doctor, give us a call at Naturopathic Physicians Group. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona. You can also find us on the web, naturopathicgroup.com. In our next segment, we'll be continuing our discussion and our interview with Carmen Moretti, who does medical hypnosis to help alleviate many conditions, including anxiety and depression.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
In a sense, you kind of have to feel
the arguments both for and against the two-party system are as old as the Constitution itself. And that's what will be at the root of this broadcast. How do we fix the antagonism which seems to be rooted in Democrats versus Republicans? Because the issues are always far more complex than that. And neither party has a solution or an antidote which will appease everyone, even from within their own party. Be sure to tune in this Sunday at 9 a.m. for AZ's On the Fence, right here on Money Radio.
Tired of that same old spin on Washington? You want the truth? Then listen to All Right Now with me, J.D. Hayworth, every weekday, 3 to 5 p.m. right here on Money Radio. I'll give it to you straight. I've represented you in Washington, and I've lived to tell some tales. You can get involved. Call in, text our show, and you'll get it right. It's All Right Now, every weekday, 3 to 5, right here on Money Radio.
I'm sleepy for some reason. Here we go, guys. Welcome back to Your Health is Wealth. I'm Dr. Lorena Ryder, alongside my co-host, Dr. Stephen Katz. We are here today and every Friday to discuss different topics on health and natural ways to treat them. Today, we are lucky to be interviewing Carmen Moretti, who's a medical hypnotherapist. She's teaching our audience of the benefits of this form of medicine.
So last time you talked a little bit about suggestive therapy. So what other types of medical hypnosis sessions can you do?
Well, I'm also trained in something called analytical hypnotherapy. Now, analytical hypnotherapy is using the mental, emotional aspects of us and going in and doing some deep work so that we can heal like past traumas, limiting beliefs again, fears, any emotions or thought processes or habits that are stopping us from healing. And so that's what that does. We're going on deep journeys. And it's different for everybody. There's no canned hypnosis in what I do. Everything is customized to the client for what they have going on and what they want to achieve. Do they want to heal from a chronic health problem? Do they want to stop smoking? Do they want to have a better relationship with themselves? Do they want to love themselves? Because a lot of people are operating without that, right?
So how many sessions typically would be a starting group, and how soon can they see benefits?
You can start seeing benefits right away. As far as like how long does it take you to achieve a goal, it depends on you. It depends on, are you 100% in for your therapy? Because you're a co-therapist in this. You're not having something done to you. I'm not controlling you. You're controlling yourself. I'm following you, and I'm your guide. And so I just need to know how to be a good guide and how to follow your amazing subconscious mind to get you the results that you want. You've got to be brave, honest, and willing to do the work. And so that's how you're going to get the results.
So we've already figured out that we're not going to bark like a dog or quack like a duck, afterward. But are there other side effects people have to think about when doing hypnosis?
No, I've had that question asked before too. And no, there are no known side effects or dangers to hypnotherapy. There's a nice side effect. I call it side effect just to be cute. And the result of practicing hypnotherapy and going through this path and this type of work is that you are more joyous, you have more happiness, you're more optimistic in life, you feel like you're in more control of your life, you're confident, you're certain about things.
That sounds a lot nicer than the drug commercials out there where they're basically saying you're going to keel over and die. You'll feel better in the process of your death. Is basically what those commercials look like.
Possibly.
Possibly feel better as you're dying with those commercials, but not with medical hypnosis. So what types of things what's the most common things you see?
Anxiety is huge. I see a lot of clients for anxiety. It's not as hard as you think it is. It's complex, but it's not difficult. It's, as long as the client's willing to do it. So I see a lot of anxiety. I've seen a few cases of cancer. If we're talking about medical hypnosis, a little autoimmune Lyme disease right now, and then preparing for surgery, things like that. So if we're just going to talk about medical, but I work with smoking cessation, weight loss, accomplishing a personal goal or a professional goal, all kinds of things. Basically, what I do is I help people to create their best life, whatever that is for them. And we want to uncover the limiting beliefs that are run by our subconscious mind and giving us the results that we don't like.
I mean, I'm the most complex, crazy person I know, and it's helped me wonderfully with the sessions over the past few years. And I know if I'm having, a day where I just feel like I'm more emotional than normal in not a positive way, my wife's always the first to say, go get a hypnosis session. She's like, go see Carmen. You need to do this. And when she says that, it actually is a reminder to me, chill out, everything's okay. So it almost sets me, because I've done my homework in the past when we've done our sessions, and when I hear her say that is actually one of my triggers to take a step back, breathe, think. Whatever's bothering me really isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
So it's like the homework's just as important, like anything. Homework in school refreshes what you learned in class. So you give homework to your patients as well.
Do.
And if they do their homework, they probably get better sessions, don't they?
Do.
I certainly did.
What is the typical length of a hypnosis session?
About 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much of that time are you in?
It depends on what we're doing. If it's suggestion therapy, it's about a half an hour. If it's one of these analytical types, that is 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. It depends. And so if they're in hypnosis and our time is getting close to being up, I schedule myself so that I have extra time to give them, because I don't want to stop their process. I finish it.
Now, do you have patients who say, I'm exhausted after all that work, or I feel super energized after that session? Is there any feedback like that?
Yes, it depends on what they had to do. If they were in resistance, they're going to be tired. If they were totally brave and open and wanting this to happen and ready for their transformation, then they're energized and they're happy. And it's so interesting because the journeys that they go on, they're different every single time. There's no two journeys that are the same. I call them a journey just for lack of a better word.
But you said something earlier, though, where you said that you leave extra time just in case. So you're not paying attention even to the clock side of it.
No.
So think about that out in Radio Land. You have a practitioner or you have a medical personnel person that's going to make sure you finish your session. It's not looking at the clock like a typical therapist or a psychologist where they're like, oh, our hour's done, pay the clerk at front. No, this is really about the patient individualized care that's so refreshing in, the medical world out there, that you have someone who cares so much that they're going to make sure you finish your session correctly.
Yeah,
so
it's important to me. That's why I'm doing this.
I mean, that's partly why I loved it. I was very excited about the episode today, because bringing on two different types of practitioners in the naturopathic medical world, where it's so much about individualized patient care and how much benefits they can bring. So basically, is there any personal stories you want to share?
Sure. Let's talk about anxiety, since that's the most frequent one that I see. So I have this beautiful client, And we're just going to call her Jody because we want to protect her. So Jody came to me because she was afraid to leave the house and she couldn't drive. And she was riddled with anxiety. She couldn't eat properly. Her stomach was a mess. She was not happy, not a happy camper. And so we did a process that helps to reverse that fear, to neutralize the fear and any trauma that she might have had with driving. She got back in that car within a week. And then it took a little bit more time after that, though, to be more comfortable to go out and have longer journeys away from home. So it's kind of a progressive thing. You're going to have an immediate reaction that's going to be an improvement. And then we're going to build on it. It's going to get bigger and bigger. And that's what happened for her. And I would say within about a month, she was driving to wherever she wanted to go. And then it took several months for her to overcome this state of anxiety that she was just really used to going into, because her thinking was always fear-induced and worrisome. And what if this happens? What if that happens? That causes us to feel that way. Eventually, if you repeat those things in your mind enough times, you're going to have a physiological response, because our subconscious minds send signals to the appropriate part of the body to respond based on what you're giving it. So make sure what you give it is actually what you want in return, what you want to experience.
Yeah, whenever you're saying all of these things in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this is like meditation. But you have that guidance and you have those suggestions from you. Can you tell me like what greater benefit this is than just meditating yourself?
Oh, much greater, because you're going deep. You're going a little bit deeper than you do in meditation as well. But you're not just going into meditation and just trying to quiet your mind or focusing on your breath or focusing on a mantra or something like that, which is beneficial and it's wonderful. You're actually going in and you're doing the work to heal the cause of what's causing the result that you don't want.
Treat the cause. That sounds like something we've said many, many, many times, like every single week. When you treat the cause, you can heal the condition. So thank you so much for coming on today. This is fascinating. And like I said, for all the people in Radio Land, I've been doing this for 5 years. I can attest to the benefits it has brought me and how I see the world and my family and my job and everything. So how can people reach you and become a patient?
Well, you can call me direct at 602-380-3631, or you can reach me at CarmenMorettiHypnotherapy.com.
And you do something that I don't know many people do, but you offer free first sessions.
I do. And for the listeners today, for your listeners today, if you call and get a free session, it's an introductory session up to 2 hours with me at no charge. And then with that, I'm going to give you a complimentary healing recording.
That's awesome. So free session and free healing recording. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as we did today. We love bringing out other practitioners in the naturopathic world. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Your Health is Wealth. Be sure to tune in next week to learn more wisdom on how to live a fuller, richer life. If you have questions about today's show or would like to find out more about the topics we discussed today, call the Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161 or email them at info@naturopathicgroup.com.
I got to stop at the bank.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full-spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems,